I thought I'd like to do a little review of some data sources for your paper. So if you go to Modules, Research Paper, scroll down to Data and Trade Agreements, you'll see links to several different data sources. One of them, which may be familiar and helpful, is the UN Trade Database. This is actually the source of the data yearbook we used for discussion 2. You can, if you go to this page, look at some of these additional information, visualizations, and special profiles they may have. Some may work for your country, some may be outside the range of what you're looking at. If you go back to the source here and you scroll down, you'll see publications, and this is the updated version. It came out since we started the course. It's the 2017 version of the yearbook that we used. You can click on download, but I advise you it's quite large. I have downloaded it and I will post it into this section on the database. If you click on it there, you'll come up with a page that looks like this. You'll see it's 398 pages, but you can find data on your country. You can scroll through it, or else you can do edit, find, and list your country. The country I'm looking at today is Denmark, and it'll give you a couple different ones, but eventually it'll get to the country page, and you'll see this is exactly what you looked at already, but now it should be 1 year later. We did 2016, this is 2017, and you could make some comparisons for yourself. You also would find, if you're curious, that if you go back to that data page here, if you actually click on this part of the page, there are older pages. So if you're curious about a specific year when something happened, you could do some back research. Another database that's listed here that may be useful, because I have asked you to include some economic data to give a context to where your country is in terms of unemployment, inflation, GDP, is the World Bank data. And particularly because it focuses on countries, as it shows you here, country by country, it gives you some applications. If you scroll down, for in my case, I'll pick Denmark again, it gives you some specific charts right here, and you can download data of some interesting variables. You can also type in a variable you're interested in, say unemployment, and hit enter. Unemployment, enter shouldn't have worked. If I type in unemployment, sorry about that, unemployment, it's going to give me a list, and it's probably best to pick the list. Click on that, and now it'll get the graph for you, possibly. It's a little slow at doing that. Or else you can download the data in a format that might be useful to you, say Excel. I found that if I refresh it, it seemed to get a little bit better at getting me the data. So here's unemployment as a total of the labor force. Why it's got a break in it, I'm not completely sure. You'd have to read some footnotes on that. One of the ways to deal with that would be is to move the data to a more recent period, and then you should hopefully not see some breaks. This is the kind of thing you have to really look at what the data is in terms of the references and some additional information. There appears to have been a date break in the historical data. If you bring it further up, it's going to give you some definite information, 2010 to 2019. If you download it, you could try using it as an Excel file and save it, and then you'll open it and be able to see information on that particular country's data that you're looking at. Those are just two of the files that may help.